Carly was going to come down yesterday, and I said, well, she said, well, I'll be hungry, you know, and they don't have nothing in that house to eat. First of all, how is that? Because she says she's eating the plant. Okay, that's not the point. So I was like, yeah, I know. And I was like, well, I can make a salad. I was going to come over there and see you when you come down. She's like, yeah, that'll be good. And so I sent my mom a text. I said, hey, I'm going to come over. I'll bring a salad. Of course, she didn't respond. And then she seemed oblivious that I was coming. I don't know. But anyway, the point is this. Not making a big deal about it. Showing up. Do not expect. We're going to talk all about this next week. But the reason it's relevant today is because a lot of you all are going places today that it's going to be different. Many times people can be pretty streamlined during the week but struggle on the weekend. Why? Because it's different. And when you can get honed in on your ritualistic patterns, it becomes who you are, and then you can become the best version of yourself and remain that. Only upward and onward. You know what I mean? But I just thought to myself yesterday, I made up a big salad, and I put it in one of my, it's not really a Debbie Meyer green box, but it does have a green lid. I forget what brand that is. I got it at Marshall's a long time ago, but it has a handle on top. It holds a lot of salad. And then I made up a dressing, tucked it in there, carried it. It was enough for everybody. But even if they hadn't eaten it, but I knew Carly and Griffin would eat that. And my mom would pick at it like she was going to eat that. And anyway, so the thing is, even if they didn't eat it, guess what? I could bring it home because that's the food I eat, and I don't mind. Like, have some, share, or don't share. That's great too. Like, I'm gonna do my thing no matter what you're doing, because what you're doing ain't got nothing to do with me, and what I'm doing has nothing to do with you. You know, when you get that new mindset, you can absolutely show up anywhere with "Here I am." I don't mean that in an outward cocky way. I mean it in an inward knowing. A solid place of know that you know that you know what's best for you. Everybody's going to have something to say. Everybody's going to have an opinion. And guess what? That's none of your business. And the thing is, when you start having confidence like that, otherwise you come into a situation like a fearful or scared dog. Have you ever seen a dog like that, and then the other ones kind of think they can attack it, but not you? You have a stance of confidence. And you know, they say that the number one skill and trait for jobs and success coming up and even now is a confidence to speak your truth, to know what you believe, and have a great way to articulate that into the world, to help other people understand, to have conversations, to have truth, to know that you know that you know. You can arrive with internally thinking to yourself, here I am, doing my thing, being in this world, but not of this world. Just like I was talking to my daughter a while ago, and she and I always talk about 6 o'clock in the morning, and she was saying, yeah, I was looking up like things that Griffin and I could do today that were freebies or whatever, and she's like, you know what's really sad is that everything was like, you know, free coffee, latte, sugar extravaganza, free mimosa, free. And I was like, what's mimosa, like a fancy coffee? She said, no, I think it's some kind of drink. It started at 10 o'clock in the morning. She said, really, are you going to be the best version of your momminess you need to be? Like, is everything just about food? And unfortunately it is. But again, that's got nothing to do with her, does it? She's going to go up to some open air plant sale going on in Hendersonville, and there's going to be music, and there's going to be belly dancers, and they'll dance and breathe, and then they'll take a hike, and they'll make raw food, and they'll live and love. They'll have no technology, they'll have no, just beauty. And it's just great. Doing your thing. So if your family's taking you out to eat, or maybe you're taking your mommy out, or whatever it is, or maybe you're at home pouting because you're thinking, well, this is another day, you know, my kids, they don't even check on me or whatever. Okay, and kids go through stages. You know, there was a while Carly couldn't stand me. You know why? Because we're really alike, she and I. And there's a lot of times now, Christopher, he doesn't enjoy me that much. it's my job to light a fire under their tail, you know what I mean? I don't mind. That's got nothing to do with me changing me. I mean, I'm open to hearing people's criticism and stuff, but a lot of times with your diet and lifestyle, people they're talking at you, not with you. They're wanting to just hear their self talk. They're not wanting to hear your response. Do you know anybody like that? Sometimes people ask me about, their diet or different things or mine. I'm like, are you asking because you're just asking, or do you truly want to know? Because if you truly want to know, then I want to tell you, and I want to help you. But if you're just talking to be talking, let's talk about something else. It's just not my desire to try to change everybody in the world. Hey, Amy, how are you? Anyway, so, and just showing your authentic light. Yesterday when I was over there at my mom's and my dad stopped by, and anyway, just little things you can recognize about people, and you don't have to take on that energy. I will not let external forces change my internal terrain of calm and love. Maybe you're going to be around. Sometimes at these events, I don't much enjoy. I love getting together with people, but I don't like a mandated holiday. You know what I mean? But I do. I don't mind Mother's Day because I love to celebrate the ladies in my life and build them up. And anyway, my mom did get me this, which I had showed her at Barnes & Noble one day. The grass is green enough, a guided journal to positive and fresh perspectives. And I said, did you get you one of these too? And she's like, that's not something I'm interested in. I said, well, I am. List 5 of your strongest beliefs and mottos. This is right up my alley. How do your actions align with your beliefs? I love a prompt like that because I could be thinking, how do my actions align with my beliefs? I can jot that down. Then later on today, I'm going to be on YouTube talking about that. I'm going to be live on Instagram. I'm going to be gathering other people's energy of positivity, and it will be an extravaganza of love and light just from how do your actions align with your beliefs? It's like my brain can't be stopped. Don't you want to feel sharp? Every day, don't you want to wake up and feel vibrant? Speaking of doing different and getting different, I don't know if y'all saw Barton's video where he was telling us a little peep into his life about just some situations going on, and that how he went out to the Mexican restaurant because his family was going there. They were, hey, let's all have drinks, or whatever. He just ordered an unsweetened tea. He had the veggies or whatever he had. The point is, he arrived with, here I am, doing my thing. And that's got nothing to do with the thing you're doing, right? And I love that. I thought, here is a perfect example of peeping into, and I appreciate that, Barton, if you hear this, because that is a lot of times we like to hide back behind, the screen, and we like to look perfect, and people are perfectly imperfect. And it's beautiful? When you can show your vulnerable side of authenticity, your authentic self, and not your authentic excuses, the authentic ways you're making it happen. Don't you love that? Hey Sherry, how are you? So, happy to all the moms out there. I have a song for you, and we're going to talk about some dehydrated foods, but I really was thinking about that. Yesterday, I took my salad, and I might do something with my mom today, but I might not. I don't know. I'm not going to feel forced to do that. You know what I mean? If it's in the ebb and flow of my day and it feels positive, then I'm going to do that. And if it feels negative, I'm not. Because guess what? I create my life. And you create your life. And there will be, I was talking to Amy about this not long ago, how we understand like, People are on different vibrations and different things. You hear that, it sounds kind of corny, but kind of true, and you're like, yeah, whatever. But actually, there is a real frequent vibration that people's energy is on. And when other people are in your realm and they are on a different vibration, usually lower because you're noticing this, okay? Something feels off, and it is very draining. Protect your light with your life. Protect your I am blank. In that blank is how you speak to yourself. We're going to talk a lot about, I love the week coming up because we're going to talk about a lot of mindset, which is really the key to this. You can have a plan all day, but if you don't have the mental constitution and thought process to back it, you got nothing, right? Because the world's going to roll you over. Your old habits, your subconscious thinking is going to drag you back down the dark alley with the boogers. But I am love and light. I am healed. I am a raw food eater. I don't know, what do you want to be talking about today? I am going to see myself at the pool. Arriving with whatever situation you're going to today with your plan. You arrive as you. Here I am. While you're there, you're you. You know, while you're sitting at the table, while everybody else is drinking, while all these things, you're you. When you push yourself away from that table, or you walk out to your car, you walk out with your pride, results, and integrity. You know, the promises you made to yourself intact. And that is a big deal. Because it's in these moments that if you master them, you can master your life. You know what I mean? You can master yourself. You don't have to master everybody else. You have to change their thoughts. You don't have to change your mom. You know, you don't have to, no. Her happiness is not dependent on you. Your happiness is not dependent. You're not depending on someone else. Right? The completion of you. Picture that. You're arriving today. Say you went out to, when I was married, my ex-husband used to be like the GM and regional GM of several hotels for Marriott. And so every Mother's Day specifically, they would be having the Mother's Day brunch. You know, he would need to show up because he was kind of to meet and greet. You know, it was right up his alley to be the front man, you know what I mean? But back behind, it was not pretty. But up front it was. So we would all go to this. I would have this level of anxiety like nothing else, okay? And because all these people that he wanted to impress were watching his family, his kids. It's just like when we would go to church, you know? The kids were not to speak. They were not to move. You were not to do this. Or it was all going down in the car on the way home. I don't live like that anymore. If I don't want to go to something like that, I don't go. If I don't want to eat your food, I don't eat it. If I don't want to absorb your negativity, I don't absorb it. No external force shall change your internal terrain unless you allow it. See what I mean? Hey Candy, how are you? So let's talk about dehydrated foods, and I have a song for you. See, that had nothing to do with dehydrated foods, but really it did, because you're learning the lessons to do you and be you. Shine your light in this world, right? That's when I see your face. You're amazing. just like you are, you know? 'Cause you're amazing.